Man. Uh-oh. This rodent problem's worse than I thought. Apparently they're trying to take over the world. Speaking of rodents trying to take over the world, today we're going to be drawing the brain from Pinky and the Brain. So as always, you're going to need a pencil, paper, and black line marker. And then today for colors, we're going to be using red and pink. And then we have this thing, which looks to... Okay, I'm calling an exterminator. Hello and happy Wednesday. Today we are drawing the brain from Pinky and the Brain. The brain's head is going to start towards the middle top of our paper, and we're going to work downward to create the body. The first shape we're going to create is going to be the top of Brain's head. This shape is going to be an oval with somewhat of a point at the top of it, or a curve you may think. So if you want to start by working out sort of your normal oval shape really lightly, you can do that. But once you get sort of the regular shape worked out, what we're going to do is add a little bit of a bump to the top there. And know what we're doing is we're creating the top of Brain's head. So this whole area that we're creating right here is going to be where that brain goes inside of this mouse's huge head. So once we have that area, I want you to think about putting a line directly down in the middle of this shape and down past that shape. And down here at the bottom, under the shape, we're going to make a circle. This circle is going to be Brain's nose. Now from that circle, we're going to come down both sides. And we're going to make an oval going up and down. And this oval is going to be the area where we put Brain's mouth. As a matter of fact, if you want, you can go ahead and draw it in. It's just going to be an upside down frown. This might be one of the first characters we've ever drawn a frown on. Next, we're going to create Brain's cheeks. A little bit under the nose on each side. We're going to come out. And then we're going to wrap up into the side. Now make sure they don't go all the way to the ends. We want this big brain lobe kind of hanging over the top. Once we have this lower face, then we're going to add some eyes. Now, this lower line right here going across is going to serve as the brain's brow. So his eyes are going to be right under it. We're going to start it going from the top of that line across, coming down, kind of bringing it back into the nose. So making a line going, curving down and in, bringing it back into the nose. After that, we're going to put a couple little detail lines. And we're going to create the brain's pupils. In order to do that, we're just going to make a little half circle that touches the top of the brow. And we're going to color it in so we can see the difference between that and the rest of the eye. Now for the head, we're almost done with details, but first we're going to make also another part of the brow here. We're going to go above the eyes and we're going to make a line, kind of curves above the head. Then we're going to put a little point, a round curve on each side. Point, a round curve. Then we're going to come up and make our ears. Our ears are going to be coming off the side at an angle. And then we're going to wrap around down to the bottom. Wrap around down to the bottom. I'm going to trace that outer line of the ear to give it a little bit of a outer ear lid there. Just a little triangle here on each side. And that basically gives us all the detail in our face. So we're going to be moving down to the body. I'm going to erase that middle line on my head. I don't really need it anymore. For the body, I'm going to come down from the sides of my frown on each side, and I'm going to come down at an angle, almost like I'm making a triangle. This is going to give me the tops of my arms, and if I come in on each side a little bit, you can see where our arm bends. I'm going to go on the inside here to kind of mimic the line, that angled line that makes the outside of my arm. I'm going to mimic that line, a little bit smaller though. By mimic, I mean it's just going to be at the same angle on the inside. And then on the inside here, I'm going to make a nice round curved circle shape. Almost like his whole body would be almost like a raindrop or a teardrop. But we're focusing on making this the round part of it. Once we have that, we've made this nice round tummy. We're going to make a couple lines coming down, out from the bottom. Then we're going to pull two angled lines from the side of that circle down too. That's going to give us our legs. And then we're going to put two ovals facing outward at the ends. They're going to be nice and big. Nice big cartoony feet. And I will use some curved lines to put some toes on there. I'm going to have a couple lines across here and a curve, sort of a dip on my feet there to show there's going to be a difference between pink and then the white of the body. And last but not least, we're going to create a tail. In order to do that, we're going to come downward at an angle off the side of that tummy. And we're going to go straight up to my elbow. I'm going to come down again. I'm going to go past that a little bit. I'm going to go down again a little bit. So we're almost making like a zigzag line or lightning, but a nice little curl. I'm going to trace that line from the outside here, kind of rounding on those angles because it's a tail. It's not going to be straight in and out like a normal zigzag. It's going to have some roundness to it. And there we go. Brain is done being drawn and ready to ink. When we ink, we're keeping the lines that we want to be our finish lines. And we're tightening up what will be our finished image. So making sure I get all my spaces, all my details. I'm going to be pretty light-handed. Make sure there's a lot of rounded curves on my paper here. This guy doesn't have a lot of straight edges. Everything's nice and round. Here we go. And our other ear. Come down and get my shoulders here. My arms. And that little line there. I'll turn my hands pink. I'm going to go down to my body here, and I'm going to follow those lines all the way down to the legs, so I didn't cut it off like how I drew it originally. The circle for the stomach, I put it all together, so keeping the lines that I want, making it feel like one whole character. So even though we start making it out of basic shapes, by the time it ends, everything kind of goes better together. Except being really wavy and not getting any straight angles or lines on his tail. Make sure it's nice and rounded. And I'm going to darken in my eyes even darker. Here we are. Alright, time to add a little color. Alright guys, there you have it. We're all done. Now Brain is a science whiz, so make sure you put some cool lab experiments in his background. For me, I'm going to sign it. Guys, we're all done. I hope you had fun drawing the Brain today with me, and I'm really proud of you and all your hard work. I'll see you tomorrow for more art classes, but until then, be kind and be creative. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.